Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're diving into a question that sounds completely simple, maybe even harmless.
Yeah, but it has this unique power to stress people out. I mean,
Mhm.
really stress them out.
Absolutely. Whether you're, in a job interview, maybe your dream job, or just trying to network somewhere new.
We are talking about those four little words. Tell me about yourself.
Ugh, just hearing them.
Right.
Yeah.
They're everywhere. You can't avoid them. And because it's so incredibly vague, so open-ended, it often feels less like an invitation and, well, more like some kind of trap.
It really does. It's like the ultimate conversational curveball because suddenly it's all on you to guess what the other person actually wants to hear.
Exactly. So our mission today in this deep dive is to give you some structure
Yeah, we're going to break down why this simple sounding question is actually pretty hard.
and then give you a practical, kind of repeatable formula so you can walk into any situation feeling ready, able to say who you are clearly, confidently.
Let's get rid of that anxiety. Let's unpack this thing.
Okay, so why is it so hard? Well, the core issue really is the vagueness, the ambiguity.
Hmm.
As the person hearing it, you just don't have clear rules like, should I talk about my job, my education, my family? What about my hobbies?
You have no idea what lane to stay in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's not instantly clear. And that feeling of uncertainty, it can be, well, paralyzing for a lot of people.
And when people learning English get paralyzed like that, they tend to go one of two ways, right? Two extremes.
Yeah.
The first is they just freeze, total withdrawal. They start worrying about grammar or finding the perfect word.
Right. And they think they need to give this, like, perfect, complete life story, which is just impossible.
Totally impossible. And then there's the other extreme.
Yes, the information overload, the TMI, too much information approach.
Because there are no boundaries, the speaker just thinks, okay, I better share everything, just in case.
Just dump it all out there.
Exactly. I saw this amazing and honestly terrifying anecdote about this. A student was doing a practice interview.
Oh, I think I know this one.
Yeah. So asked, tell me about yourself, and they launched into an answer that lasted 6 minutes.
6. Wow.
6 minutes straight. It was basically, like you said, a mini biography, unfiltered.
And that, the time aspect, brings up a really crucial point about English communication, especially, in professional settings or when you first meet someone.
Brevity.
Brevity. It's valued.
Yeah.
People expect short, structured answers. Honestly, if you're talking for more than, say, 90 seconds, maybe 2 minutes absolute max, you've probably lost them
Yeah, their eyes glaze over.
completely.
So length is one big pitfall, but the other one, especially for language learners, is trying to translate directly.
Oh, this is a classic trap. Thinking in your native language and just swapping words one from one into English.
It can lead to some really interesting results. Sometimes just confusing, sometimes genuinely funny.
Well, it shows how things like idioms just don't travel well, literally. You saw that great example, the Spanish speaker.
Oh, yeah. Trying to say he likes to joke around with friends.
Right. The phrase in Spanish is tomar el pelo, which literally means to take the hair.
And he translated it just like that.
Yep. He actually said, I'm an engineer by profession, but my true passion is to take the hair of my friends.
Oh my gosh. Imagine hearing that. You'd be picturing him like plucking hairs off his buddies.
Exactly. Not quite the friendly joking vibe he was going for.
It just instantly shows why that word-for-word thing doesn't work. Languages are just different.
Precisely. And it points right to why learners need to pick up chunks of language, natural phrases, common ways of saying things.
Not just individual words off a list.
Right. Especially for something like an introduction.
Mm-hmm.
You want it to sound natural, authentic, and avoid, well, accidentally talking about stealing hair.
Okay, so we've seen the pitfalls. Vagueness, talking too long, weird translations. It's clear we need a system, not just, winging it.
Definitely.
So let's pivot. If we can figure out why the person is asking what their intent is, maybe the structure becomes clearer. What do they really want?
That's exactly it. It all boils down to context. You have to quickly read the room, the situation.
Okay.
So if you're in a job interview, they're not asking about your dog or your childhood dream of being an astronaut.
Right. Not usually anyway.
No, they want a relevant introduction, something that connects your background to that specific job. You're basically making a quick sales pitch. Here's why I fit.
Okay, that makes sense. Sell the match. But what about like a more casual thing? A party, a conference, coffee break?
Right. Social context, totally different goal. There, the intent is usually just connection, basic info.
Like where you're from, what you do.
Exactly. Where you're from, what you do, maybe one thing you're interested in that could, spark a conversation, much lower stakes.
So context dictates the content.
And that leads us to this simple but really effective three-part formula that came up in the research. It's adaptable, easy to recall. It's present, past, future.
Present, past, future.
I like that. It forces you to be logical.
It does. Let's break it down again. Okay, so present, that's your name and your current situation, right? The most relevant thing right now.
Yep. Then past. A quick relevant point about your background or experience. Keyword, relevant.
Got it. And future. What are your goals or interests? Something that ties it back to why you're there or what you're looking for.
Exactly. Ties it all together.
Okay, let's try it. Let's use that professional example. Say I'm applying for a job creating online courses.
Perfect. How would you structure it using present, past, future?
Okay, present. My name is Emma, and I'm currently an English teacher. I've got about 5 years of experience, mainly in specialized communication skills.
Good start. Now past.
Past. In my previous roles, I mostly worked with large international companies, and I was designing custom training programs for their teams.
Relevant. Okay. Future.
Future. So now I'm really looking for an opportunity to take that experience and apply it to creating structured online learning programs on a bigger scale, which is why I was so interested in this particular role.
See, that works beautifully. It's efficient, professional, totally relevant. And timing-wise, probably just under a minute.
Yeah, it felt pretty quick. Hit the main points.
You use the structure to highlight why you're a good fit. Perfect.
Okay, it's clear, it's structured, but I have to ask, is there a risk of sounding robotic? Like just ticking off boxes, present, check, past, check, future, check.
That's a really good question. How do you add personality without, going back to the 6-minute biography?
Right.
The structure is just the frame, the scaffolding. The content insight still needs to be authentic, and that's where context really comes back in.
Ah, okay.
If you switch context, say, from that interview to a casual networking event, the kind of information you put into past and future changes a lot.
Okay, show me. How does present, past, future work for just, meeting someone new socially?
Right, so social setting. The goal shifts to connection, finding common ground. You still start with present, name, maybe what you do, but the past might just be a simple fact, like where you're from or how long you've been somewhere. And the future is more about an immediate interest, or maybe why you're at that event.
Okay, give me an example.
Sure, like, hi, I'm David, present, I work in marketing. Actually, I just moved here from Portland about 6 months ago, past. I've been really interested in learning more about the local hiking trails. I'm hoping to find some good spots nearby.
Ah, I see. So in the interview, past was a key job achievement. Socially, past is just a simple personal fact.
Exactly.
And the future in the interview was about career goals matching the role. Socially, it's more like an icebreaker, something to connect on right now.
Precisely. That adaptability is what makes the framework so useful. Same structure, different focus depending on the situation. Okay, so to really drive home why relevance matters so much, let's look at a contrast. A bad answer versus a good one.
Love a good comparison.
Based on those common mistakes we see when people just ignore the context, ignore that relevance filter.
Right, so the classic mistake is starting way too far back, giving the whole life story, the mini biography.
Exactly. Let's paint the picture of the bad version. Remember Daniel, the student?
Oh yeah, Daniel from Bogota. What did his bad version sound like again?
He was something like, my name is Daniel. I was born in Bogota, Colombia, back in 1987. When I was 5, I really loved playing soccer, with my friends.
Oh dear. Keep going.
Then in high school, I discovered I was pretty good at math. My parents, they always said I should study engineering, but I really wanted to study languages. Later, I took a vacation to Mexico, which was great.
Okay, stop. I can feel the interviewer mentally checking out already.
Completely. They're thinking, okay, interesting, but what does this have to do with the job? They're not trying to write your biography.
They're trying to see if you fit the role, within the first 60 seconds, ideally.
Right. So in a professional setting, asking, tell me about yourself, is purely about professional relevance. Recent stuff. High-impact stuff.
Okay, so now let's hear Daniel's good version. Same guy, same background, but this time focused, using that structure.
Okay, the successful, relevant approach for Daniel would be something like, I'm Daniel, present. I'm a language specialist, and I've got over 10 years of experience teaching business English, mostly to senior professionals in Latin America and Europe, past. My real expertise is in tailoring corporate language training for specific industries, past detail. And right now, I'm looking to leverage that experience by designing structured online content, ideally for an international company like yours, Future.
Wow, night and day difference.
Isn't it?
That's concise, it sounds impressive, and it immediately tells the interviewer why he's relevant. It screams value.
That's the power of structure and relevance. So the big takeaway here is relevance rules.
Especially professional.
Absolutely. Ditch the unnecessary personal stuff, the childhood memories. Focus laser sharp on the skills and goals that connect you to the person asking and the situation you're in.
Okay, structure is crucial, relevance is king, we've got that. But let's go a bit deeper now. Because for people learning English as a second language, this whole thing isn't just about grammar or formulas, is it?
Not at all. It taps into much deeper stuff. Psychological, cultural.
Right.
There's a huge cultural factor often at play. We see this a lot in many cultures, maybe ones with, stricter hierarchies or where modesty is really prized. Talking yourself up, listing your achievements, it could feel really uncomfortable, even rude, like bragging.
That's a massive hurdle because if you've been raised to downplay your accomplishments, then suddenly being expected to sell yourself in, say, a North American or maybe a UK job interview, it feels totally alien. Wrong, even.
It really does. But you have to understand the expectation in those contexts. In many English-speaking professional environment, your introduction is partly an advertisement for yourself.
You're expected to advocate for yourself.
Yes, confidently, clearly, concisely. If you hold back too much because of cultural modesty, the interviewer might just miss your value. They won't see the connection you're trying to make.
And then layered on top of that cultural challenge is the anxiety factor.
Oh, yeah. Big time. Students get so worried about making mistakes, achieving perfect English.
They fixate on every little grammar point or how their pronunciation sounds.
And they freeze up. They're so scared of saying something wrong that they end up saying nothing or sounding really hesitant.
Which kind of undermines the whole point.
Exactly. But here's the thing, the reassurance we really need to give people. Nobody expects perfection. Not your new friend, not the hiring manager.
They expect clarity.
Yes, communication, being understood. That's way more important than flawless grammar. If your message is structured, if it's relevant, if they get what you're saying, you've succeeded.
Which brings us straight back to confidence, doesn't it? You could have the perfect words, the perfect structure.
But if you deliver it sounding unsure, maybe because you're mentally checking your grammar the whole time.
The message just falls flat.
Totally. The confidence you project while speaking, that's what makes the structure actually work. It makes it persuasive.
It all connects.
It really does. And there was this great line, kind of a mantra. If you can introduce yourself with confidence, with clarity and conviction, you're already 50% ready for whatever conversation comes next.
I like that. Confidence is like the bridge, right? It helps cross that gap between maybe cultural modesty and what's needed professionally. That confidence idea is so key. Okay, let's get super practical now. Let's build the toolkit. What are the concrete things listeners can actually do starting today to nail this intro and build that belief?
All right, 5 key tips for preparation. And these go beyond just memorizing words. First, practice the structure, not a script.
Ah, okay. So don't memorize word for word.
No, because if you forget one word, you panic and the whole thing falls apart. Practice the flow, present, past, future. Know your key points for each section.
Makes sense.
Tip 2.
Use simple, clear vocabulary, especially important for international communication.
Clarity over complexity. Always. Trying to show off with big fancy words often just confuses people. Keep it clear. Keep it direct.
Okay.
Third, smile. And use positive body language. Remember, a lot of communication isn't verbal. Your posture, eye contact, a simple smile makes a huge difference.
Good reminder. 4th tip.
This one's super effective. Record yourself. Use your phone.
Woo, listen back.
Yep. You need to hear how you actually sound to other people. Check your timing. Are you hitting that 1-minute mark or rambling? Check your tone. Do you sound confident? Engaged.
That takes guts, but yeah, probably really helpful. Okay, 5th tip.
Have 2 versions ready. We touched on this flexibility.
Right, the short one and the longer one.
Exactly. A short, adaptable one for casual chats, social stuff, and the slightly longer, more detailed professional version for interviews or formal settings.
Okay, 5 great prep tips. Now, how does someone actually start practicing right now? Give us the action steps.
4 simple steps to get started. 1. Write down maybe 3 or 4 simple sentences about yourself. Use that present, past, future structure. Focus only on relevance for a specific context first, like a practice interview.
Okay, write it down. Step 2.
Record it. Use your phone again. Check the timing. Is it around a minute? maybe a bit less. If it's way over, like 3 minutes,
Cut the fluff.
cut the fluff.
Have the
Be
love.
ruthless. Find what's essential. Step 3.
Practice out loud.
Yes. Practice with a friend, a teacher, even just your pet. Get comfortable saying the words. Get feedback on how it flows if it sounds natural.
Okay. And step 4. This is the magic ingredient, right?
This is the one that makes it memorable. Add a personal touch, a specific, interesting detail about yourself.
And you got to emphasize specific here, right?
Absolutely critical. Don't just say, I like music. That's too vague. Say, I really enjoy listening to classic jazz, especially Miles Davis. And actually, I play the guitar a bit myself, mostly just to unwind. See, specific gives texture.
Okay. Or instead of, I have hobbies.
Maybe connected to work, if appropriate. Like, in my free time, I really enjoy hiking, and I've gotten into photography lately. I actually find that thinking about composition and perspective creatively sometimes helps me find, new angles on problems at work.
Nice link. Specificity makes you stand out, makes you real.
And it makes you more memorable. It sticks in the listener's mind.
It probably builds your own confidence, too, talking about something real you enjoy. I have to bring up that story about Laura, the student who was so shy.
Oh, Laura. Yeah, that was powerful.
Her first try at introducing herself was just heartbreaking, really, because she lacked confidence. What did she say?
She said, "My name is Laura. I am a boring person. I like nothing."
Ugh, I am a boring person. It just shows that deep psychological barrier she felt. The pressure just shut her down.
Exactly. She couldn't find the words to express who she really was.
But then, after working on the structure, focusing on just saying her truth, building that confidence bit by bit,
She completely transformed it.
what did the new version sound like?
It became something like, well, I could be a little shy when I first meet people, but I really enjoy reading, especially thrillers, and I love spending quality time with my family.
See? Simple, honest, authentic. It wasn't that she changed fundamentally. Her ability to communicate who she was changed everything.
It's a perfect illustration. Structure, practice, confidence, authenticity, they all work together. Hashtag, tag, outro.
So, if you take away just one big thing from this deep dive today, let it be this. Tell me about yourself. It's not a trap.
No sneaky trick question.
Not at all. It's actually a really powerful opportunity. It's flexible. It lets you show people who you are clearly with structure and hopefully with confidence.
Be clear. Use that present, past, future as your guide, your scaffolding.
Be authentic. Add that little specific detail that makes you you.
And practice. Practice consistently until that confidence starts to feel natural, not forced.
And always remember, when we talk about communication, especially in English, it's not really fundamentally about perfect grammar.
What's it about then?
It's about connection and confidence, making that human link. So maybe the final thought for everyone listening.
Yeah, think about this. How can you, today, weave just one small, specific, authentic personal detail into your introduction? Something that helps you genuinely connect with the next new person you meet.
Go find that detail. Go forth and introduce yourselves confidently.
You've got this.
We'll catch you on the next deep dive.